Oh my goodness, this one is absolutely gorgeous. G'day, it's Mark Rogan from O'Neill Real Estate, and this is number 2 Johansen Road in Byford. We've got ourselves an absolutely stunning home here, a truly beautiful design, absolutely fantastic on so many levels, not least of all the parking. That's a 3-car garage at the front of the house. We're going to see that from inside. Now, I know what you're thinking. Before we go any further, I might as well address that particular elephant in the room. Not that it's really an elephant. I'd say it's probably more of like it's a baby elephant. That little section there on that door, you're going, everything looks so great, but what's the deal with that? Well, the deal with that is that that's being replaced. It was damaged during the last couple of weeks, and that is all scheduled for fixing. Now, so that'll be done and looking like the rest of them before we settle. Now, this house, absolutely fantastic on so many levels, not least of all the design. I'm going to take you for a walkthrough, show you everything that's happening in this very high-spec home. And in this high-spec home, we have a floor plan that just works so incredibly well for everyday life. You can see that floor plan, of course, at markrogan.com.au, where we've got all the details, but I'm going to give you a real quick crash course before we dig into the details. So to the right, we have the secondary bedrooms. To the left, we have the theatre. And don't stress, we are going to go and see all the detail. And this beautiful big entrance, I got to say, that is very, very welcoming. And then we move into here, where we have all of this incredible living space. Stepping it back just slightly, that's the study. All of this great living space, just a truly special home. And high ceilings through here, spot on in every way a place can be spot on. All of that opening out to this beautiful alfresco area, and of course, this awesome lawn area out the side. And I like that the noisy neighborhood aspect that people often are concerned about is purely related to birds right now. Listen to this. Yeah, that's what's going on in this town. That is a pretty welcoming kind of sound to have every day in your, quiet little suburban street. It's a very nice place to be. So let's start with this, because I reckon this is where every day kind of starts, right? Well, actually, no. We'll start with this, because it's the main bedroom. So, you're waking up in the morning, coming out of this main bedroom that I didn't show you a moment ago, and heading in to this kitchen, where you're making yourself a coffee or a tea or whatever it is you do to kick off your day. Maybe you're a protein shake person, maybe you're a bit of pre-workout, I don't know what you do, but this is where it's most likely going to start for most people. Now, this kitchen is absolutely extraordinary. All of this workspace, all along here, all of this workspace, all along this side with that huge stone benchtop. And let's dig into the details of what's going on with this kitchen, because it is exceptionally well set up. Firstly, from a functional point of view, this is the bit where, this is your show bit. And then through here, this is your storage bit. So if you're looking at that going, oh yeah, there's plenty of cupboards and stuff, because you've got cupboards all along here. You've got cupboards all along there, cupboards all along that side, and then cupboards all along this side too. I mean, it is the most cupboardy kitchen you will find anywhere, because then you go through here, and we go up another notch on the cupboardiness of this, because we have all of this. So that's your pantry, all the pull-out drawers, shelving, all that jazz. And then more of it over here, again with the stone bench tops. This is like that, that functional space where you need the appliances, where you want to have the air fryer, the thing that you want to look at but you need to use all the time. Maybe the microwave, that could go right over here. It all just functions so very nicely. And the fridge recess there, a very good size fridge recess. And from a practical point of view, I love a good flow in a house. And this really is pretty to look at and incredibly functional in the way that it's designed, because you go kitchen, kitchen, kitchen. You're busy doing stuff in your kitchen, right? But then that washing machine starts singing its song and you got to jump on that. Well, guess what? The washing machine's right here behind this door, and into the laundry we go. All of this exceptionally well set up. Stone bench tops in here as well, and then space there for the washer and dryer side by side. Now, I don't know if it really shows it just on the video, but that is good space for those. They can sit up at that level. You're not bending down. It's really very practical, and more overhead storage in here. The ceramic trough and the linen cupboard. That is just perfect storage. Floor to ceiling tiles in the kitchen, in the laundry. We have the floor to ceiling tiles all the way up there. Very classy indeed. And that is the sliding door out to, I guess, like the functional side of the house, but even that looks nice. And we'll go and see that from the other side in a little while. But for now, we've got other stuff to go and investigate. Oh, by the way, the drawers here, love this. Hang on a second, I need to use two hands, but one of them's holding the phone. There we go. No wasted space. Check that out for a drawer. How good is that? And power. I mean, I know I'm obsessing over this kitchen a little bit, but power. We've got power there, power there, power there. That's 6 power outlets on one bench. 8. 9, 10. 11, 12. Let's just see. Is there one? Ha 13, 14. 14 power outlets in one kitchen. That, my friends, is super, super practical kitchening. And guess what? There's another one for the dishwasher. We're going to call it at 15 power outlets, which seems excessive until suddenly you need something over on that side and there isn't any power, and you've got it all set up so well with this. You can have something everywhere in the way that this is designed. So the living space is tiled and it has beautiful flow with that kitchen. I guess with a kitchen that looks as good as that, you kind of want it as the, I guess it's, part of the appeal of your living area in the way that that's all kind of configured there. You're very much engaged with everything that's going on in that design. A large meals area. And over here we have a beautiful lounge area. There's the gas log fire. Again, beautiful high ceilings through here. Lovely feature cornice as well. Impressive light fittings. All of it just looking so, so good. And it doesn't stop here when it comes to living space. Obviously, you've got the outside area that is part of our next chapter of the journey. But for now, let's go and have a look at your day-to-day sort of living area, sitting area kind of flow to this place. By the way, we're going to stop by at the study on the way through. And the study is very nicely set up. All of this, just good open space, lovely natural light in here. So if you're a work from homer, then this is ideal. Super practical in the way that it's all set up. Ideal if you've got like kids doing homework as well. You don't necessarily want them like out in that main living area with all of their stuff, but they still kind of don't want to be locked in their rooms. You've got that freedom within all of this. So study there. Now, you can close this section of the house off, which is kind of cool, because if you're making a bunch of noise in the other end of the house, mind you, I don't know, there's so much space that I don't think it would travel that badly, but anyway, you can close this section off so that your theatre room and the secondary bedrooms are kind of separated from that. Well thought out for sure. And this is your theatre room. Very, very well set up, and the room itself is huge. Kind of dwarfs that quite large couch, actually. And you've got the lights that are recessed into that vaulted ceiling. Now, a theatre room should be a nice, dark kind of cinematic kind of vibe going on, which we have the option to create in this design, right? So we pull that closed. We pull this closed. And And once the real estate agent sorts himself out and sorts that curtain out properly over on that side, we've got the full blockout experience. So there you go. Minimal light, to the point that I actually walked into a light. That's what that was. But a very, very good setup. That is a really nice feature. But at the same time, theatre rooms can often get kind of, I guess, exclusively used only as a theatre room because that's how they've been designed. Whereas with this, there's versatility to it. Because if you're not really like into the whole cinematic surround sound kind of business, well, you can just open it up and it's a very pleasant lounge room. That is the freedom you have when you have a space that is as well set up as this one. So nicely done, folks, nicely done. And let's go and see the, you know what? We're going to secondary bedrooms before we're doing the main bedroom. No, we're going back. We're going back. If you want to see secondary bedrooms first, just skip ahead and then you come back this way to see the main bedroom. But look, you know, we're 11 minutes deep in this video now. I reckon you probably want to see what is happening in the main bedroom. And here we are in the main bedroom, a very good sized room, super well set up. Again, feature ceilings in here. The full display spec on this home. And we have space for a queen or king or super king or two queen size beds in this place. It is very, very nicely set up. The bed that's there is a queen size bed. Certainly more than enough space to go super king with this super size room. Again, if you're looking for dimensions, you can find them at markgrogan.com.au on the floor plan. Drag those curtains shut. You've got this beautiful big natural light window flowing into here. That all opens out onto the alfresco that, as you know, we will see shortly. But that is exceptionally well designed. And through here we have a little dressing area, bit of a makeup station. The walk-in wardrobe. Incredibly practical, very, very, very well thought out. And through here we have the ensuite bathroom. So a nice big shower. You've got the rainfall shower head. You've got all of that going on. There's like a waiting bench, I suppose. You know, that's where you wait when you're waiting for your turn. Or, you know, a couple of people get under that. No problems at all. And then we've got the shelf, all that kind of thing. It's super well set up. Of course, you would expect nothing less so far. And we have the stone tops with the ensuite as well. Double vanity. How do I look? How do I look? And then we have the toilet. Again, with the floor to ceiling tiles through here. Really nicely done. All right. So we've seen the main bedroom now. And I think it's time to go and see those secondary bedrooms. Then we'll check out outside, and then we'll check out that garage, and then you can get in touch and set up a time to come and see it all for yourself. Now, we've talked a little bit about storage before. There's some great storage on the way through to the secondary bedroom. So you've kind of got linen down one end and linen down the other. This is bedroom number 2. It's as big as a lot of main bedrooms, folks. That is a queen size bed that's there currently, and there is ample space for that one in here. And we're not mucking around with carpets. If you want that feel, you can get some rugs, but we've got the same tiling all the way through. So really practical for families of all ages and stages. And the very large walk-in wardrobe for a secondary bedroom, that is a bonus. Just super practical. Good looking and practical. A hard thing to find, I reckon. Now we have bedroom number 3. Got the horse's head on the bedside table, which I think is slightly different than when the Mafia have left it in the bed, but that's what that is. Yeah. We've got one of those right there, but that doesn't stay. So we have a walk-in wardrobe that's, again, a very good size. Oh, I should probably get the light for you. There we are. So walk-in wardrobe and a very nicely sized bedroom. And then we have a very nicely sized bedroom once again. And this one has the built-in wardrobe. The main bathroom, featuring a bath, the vanity with the stone top, and again, another very good sized shower. Through here, toilet with the hand basin, again with the floor to ceiling tiles. And a loud enough exhaust fan to not embarrass your guests. Everything's been thought of here at 2 Johansen Road in Byford. So a super practical setup with all of that. And I think I said that we'd see the garage after we've seen the alfresco. I mean, look, we're here. Let's do it. We'll wrap up on the alfresco. I'm changing plans, and we have the very large 3-car garage. So this has heaps of parking along here. I should have stepped this out before or brought my little, laser measurer thing that I normally carry around for these, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 meters from that door to here. Now, that is very well set up. And height-wise, well, there's not too much I don't think you would be able to fit in here. We have how many courses? You can pause it and count them. So can I. I count 28, standard is 25, so that's all very well set up. I mentioned this before, that is getting replaced, that just single panel there that was damaged on the roller door, and that will all be sorted before settlement. Then we have this side with the garage as well, so about a metre shorter, and this side also provides access out to the side of the yard where the clothesline is on the same side as the laundry. If that's all making sense, you can probably make it make sense from the floor plan that you've likely already looked at. And those are obviously both automatic roller doors. So that's easy and ready to go. This here is the plumbing in case you want to set up a trough outside. So we have the taps, we have the drain. Your thoughts, your ideas, you can set it up, you can make it happen. And that is the garage, a very, very big space. Oh, even little stuff's being thought of. Look at this. See, that is the garage clothesline. So you know how you get like the odd thing you want to dry, like a jacket or something like that. You come in out of the rain, or it's a really wet day, and you just want to make sure that things are drying a little bit faster because you don't want to put it out on the line. That's all there, and that is your switchboard. That's all set up in the garage. The meter on the outside, the switchboard on the inside. There are some smart wiring elements to the home as well, and that is all set up right there. So it all runs from there. You want to have a look inside? Sure, we can have a look inside. I can do that. It's a very Wi-Fi world these days, whether or not you use it that way, but we've got the data points through to those rooms running from here. It's all been thought of, folks. It has all been done so well. And now we've seen the garage, I think it's time to go and see that outdoor area that I've been promising you since the start. You might have already skipped ahead. I don't know. Here's something I did when you weren't looking before, and that's turning that on. I probably should have done it the first time. But anyway, we've got that on. So the gas log fire just looking absolutely fantastic. Maybe not so much in the video. Let's have a look. There we go. That is a beautiful feature within this space, and it is pumping out some very nice heat. So we have evaporative ducted cooling. We also have this for heating, and it is a very comfortable home indeed. Very, very well set up with the power points, like I mentioned in the kitchen, but it's like that around the house as well. You've got power over here, you've got power over here, you've got power over there, you've got, sorry, madam. You've got power over there, and I believe there's power on this wall as well, but no actual outlets. It's just on that wall, unless there's an outlet over here. There's not, but an option to be able to get something up there if you wanted to have, say, a TV mounted or something like that. All right. Oh, and look, 15 amp power. Gosh, they thought of everything. They really did. And how is that for an alfresco area? Beautiful space, honed exposed aggregate. Well, exposed aggregate, it's honed concrete with nice stones through it. And this part is exposed. So honed under the alfresco area, makes for easy moving around of furniture, sliding of chairs, all of that kind of stuff. And then out here, bit of grip in the area that would probably be considered the workspace of the property, and a pretty attractive workspace it is. There's that thumping big gas hot water system, doing a great job of running all of the requirements of this home. There's a rainwater tank here that is not connected to anything internally, can still collect rainwater, but not connected to anything internally. And then over here, we have the clothesline, which is handy because there we have the laundry. I think we mentioned it before. Yeah, we did. And that's the back of that roller door from before. You're getting the whole 360 with us, folks. That's what we're working towards today. And down here we have, obviously, ample space. It's not a mandarin. Tangelo? I don't know. I'll have to check for you. Looks good, though. And then we have all of this lawn area out on this side. By the way, barbecuers, we have power, we have mains gas. So perfect for your outdoor kitchen setup. And here you go. All of this backyard space. Brick fencing on this side. That's all been texture coated. And just a good looking home on every level. That is to Johansen Road in Byford, folks, in the Glades, in a great spot. It has to be one of the best designs and one of the best looking homes anywhere on the market today. If you want to come and see it for yourself, well, we can make that happen. Go to markrogan.com.au, hit the email agent button. The team will be in touch to set up a time so that that can happen. We'll send you any other information we have as well. But in the meantime, hopefully that has shown you everything you need to see to know that whatever your plans were for this weekend, you're probably going to need to incorporate coming to see this for yourself. If that can't happen and you go, look, Mark, I've seen everything I need to see, maybe not in the order that I would have liked to have seen it because you changed your plans. Well, I apologize for that. But hopefully you've seen what you need to see and you can submit an offer before then. You can do that at markrogan.com.au as well. Thank you so much for having a look around. I look forward to handing you the keys real soon.